Episode 3, From Dust to Love. As the soft morning light fell over Yasir's village, a sense of peace and silence enveloped the surroundings. But the silence was only on the outside. Inside Yasir and Zoya's hearts, the echoes of war still thundered. That same thunder that raced through their veins as questions. How long will we keep trading in hatred? Zoya had now become a familiar and respected figure in the village. Children gathered around her, women sought her prayers, and men shared tales of her bravery. But deep down, she knew this was temporary. The shadow of war could return at any moment. One day, Yasir and Zoya were sitting in the fields. Smoke rose from the hills in the distance. Zoya lowered her gaze and said, "No matter how far we run, war always finds us." Yasir replied, "Then should we stop running or try to change it?" That evening, news reached the village. There's talk of another attack across the border. This time, not just our village, the whole region is a target. Fear spread quickly. The elders said, "We must hide." The youth said, "We will fight." But Zoya's voice was louder than all. If we only respond with bullets, we become the very monsters we hate. That night, Yasir made a decision. He would go near the border, to the enemy trenches, and carry a message of peace. Zoya asked in disbelief, "Are you insane? They'll shoot you." Yasir smiled. "Maybe, but if even one heart changes, the sacrifice will be worth it." Tears welled up in Zoya's eyes, but she said nothing, only whispered a silent prayer, louder than words. Yasir, dressed in white, carried a white flag and set off alone toward the mountains. With every step, he thought of his mother's face, his grandmother's prayers, and the burning intensity in Zoya's silent eyes. As he neared the border fence, enemy soldiers raised their guns. "Stop! One more step and we shoot!" Yasir called out loudly. "I haven't come to fight. I've come to speak, to say something from the heart. Just give me a chance." The soldiers were puzzled. Their commander summoned him. "Speak. What do you want to say?" Yasir said, "There's one thing we all have in common. Our hearts beat. All our mothers wait for us. We all want to avoid pain, yet we keep inflicting it on each other." The commander angrily retorted, "You come here talking peace when your people have killed ours?" Yasir softly replied, "And when you killed us, we buried the dead. Are we fighting to divide graveyards or to save lives?" His words hung in the air. Then, in a powerful silence, the commander slowly lowered his weapon and said, "Go back. But this is a dream, not reality." Yasir replied, "Every reality was once a dream." When Yasir returned to the village, everyone embraced him. Zoya looked at him silently and said just one line, "You're crazy. And maybe that's why the world needs people like you." Months passed. The threat of war began to fade. Ceasefire announcements were made, and soon the media buzzed with a surprising headline. A new mindset emerges along both borders, a movement for peace. Peace, sparked by an ordinary young man who spoke only the truth. He didn't fire a bullet, just shared a message. And that truth turned out to be the strongest weapon of all. Eventually, the day came when peace advocates from both sides of the border announced a March for Humanity. Yasir and Zoya led that march, dressed in white, hand in hand, walking on paths once laced with landmines, now covered in flowers. And when the march reached its peak, Yasir addressed the crowd. "I embraced Zoya when the world called her the enemy. I chose peace when hatred was easier. If today we can see each other as human beings, this earth can become not just land, but paradise." There were tears in people's eyes. Zoya looked at Yasir and said, "Maybe this is what love truly means, to give your enemy the most precious bond, friendship." Yasir was silent, but his eyes said everything words never could. Zoya's voice trembled. If only the world could understand that reaching out a hand can heal 1,000 wounds. That day, it wasn't just Zoya who had changed. That day, hatred lost and humanity won. And when humanity wins, history is not just written, it is felt.